Let me take you on a journey through the life of one of the greatest prophets in Islamic history, Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him. His story is one of patience, faith, and unshakable trust in Allah. Did you know that he was the son of Prophet Ishaq, peace be upon him, and the grandson of the great Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him? His lineage alone speaks of his immense honor and closeness to Allah. But what truly sets Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, apart is not just his noble family background, but his remarkable character and the trials he endured with unwavering faith. Known for his deep love for Allah and his steadfastness during some of the most heartbreaking tests, Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, is a timeless example of patience in the face of loss. He is also called Israel, and his children became the ancestors of the 12 tribes of Israel, making his life a cornerstone in the history of many nations and faiths. Today, we will uncover the powerful lessons hidden in his story, lessons that will inspire you to face your own challenges with strength and hope. So, stay with me as we begin this incredible journey into the life of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him. Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, was born into a family of great prophets. His father, Prophet Ishaq, peace be upon him, was a devoted servant of Allah, and his grandfather, Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was the leader of monotheism, known as Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. Growing up in such a blessed household, Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, was raised with the highest values of faith, worship, and devotion. From an early age, he was known for his wisdom, humility, and love for Allah. As he grew older, Yaqub, peace be upon him, followed the righteous path of his forefathers, always putting his trust in Allah. Allah chose him as a prophet, continuing the legacy of guiding people toward the worship of one true God. He was a man of immense character, always striving to uphold justice, truth, and compassion. Despite his noble status, he lived a life of humility, teaching others through his actions and words. When Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, married, Allah blessed him with many children. Among them were 12 sons, each of whom played a significant role in history. But one son held a special place in his heart, Yusuf, peace be upon him. Yaqub's love for Yusuf, peace be upon him, was unlike anything else, and this deep bond would later become the center of one of the greatest trials in his life. Little did he know that this trial would test his faith in ways unimaginable and set the stage for a story of patience, hope, and divine wisdom that would inspire generations to come. Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, was a man of extraordinary faith, but like many great individuals in history, his life was not without its challenges. One of the most heartbreaking trials he faced came from within his own family. Yaqub, peace be upon him, had 12 sons, but there was one son who was especially dear to him, Yusuf, peace be upon him. Yusuf was not only the youngest, but he was also a boy of exceptional beauty and character. Yaqub, peace be upon him, loved him deeply, and their bond was unbreakable. However, this love became the source of great jealousy among his other sons. They could not bear to see their father's affection for Yusuf, peace be upon him, and their hearts were filled with envy. This jealousy eventually led them to hatch a cruel plan. One day, they decided to get rid of their brother. They threw him into a well, leaving him to die. And then they deceived their father by showing him Yusuf's torn clothes, stained with what appeared to be blood. They told Yaqub, peace be upon him, that a wolf had killed Yusuf, peace be upon him. Yaqub, peace be upon him, was devastated. His heart was broken, and the grief of losing his beloved son was overwhelming. But despite the overwhelming sadness, Yaqub, peace be upon him, did not lose hope. He trusted in Allah and believed that nothing happens without His will. His faith remained unshaken, and he expressed his sorrow by turning to Allah in supplication, constantly seeking His help. His sons saw their father's grief but had no idea what he was going through. They believed they had succeeded in their plan, but they couldn't have been more wrong. For Yaqub, peace be upon him, knew that his Yusuf was still alive. Though he cried and mourned, he never let go of his trust in Allah's plan. He would say, "I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah, and I know from Allah that what you do not know." Years passed, and the pain of separation never left Yaqub, peace be upon him. Yet he continued to hold on to hope. His life, filled with moments of deep sadness and loss, teaches us a powerful lesson. No matter how difficult life gets, Allah's wisdom is beyond our understanding, and patience through hardship brings reward. Yaqub, peace be upon him, knew that only Allah could reunite him with Yusuf, peace be upon him, and he held on to that belief despite the passage of time. This remarkable patience of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, is a testimony to the strength of the human spirit and the deep connection between a believer and their Creator. The lessons we learn from his life are timeless. In the next part of this story, we will see how Allah's mercy and wisdom unfolded in ways that no one could have predicted. The reunion of Yaqub, peace be upon him, and Yusuf, peace be upon him, would become one of the most beautiful stories of faith, trust, and divine intervention ever told. Years passed, and Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, continued to live with the heart-wrenching pain of separation from his beloved son Yusuf, peace be upon him. Yet despite his sorrow, Yaqub, peace be upon him, never let go of his faith in Allah. His love for Yusuf, peace be upon him, remained unwavering, and his trust in Allah's plan never faltered. He would often say, "I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah, and I know from Allah that which you do not know." This powerful statement reflects the depth of his patience and his unshakable reliance on Allah. As the years went by, the family of Yaqub, peace be upon him, faced hardship. There was a famine in the land, and food became scarce. In their time of need, Yaqub's sons, who had long been unaware of the true fate of Yusuf, peace be upon him, were sent to Egypt to buy grain. Little did they know that Yusuf, peace be upon him, who they had left for dead all those years ago, was now a powerful ruler in Egypt. Allah had blessed Yusuf, peace be upon him, with high status, and he had become the treasurer of Egypt, responsible for managing the kingdom's resources during the famine. When Yusuf's brothers arrived in Egypt to buy food, they did not recognize him. Yusuf, peace be upon him, saw them and immediately recognized them. The heartache of their betrayal must have flooded his heart. But Yusuf, peace be upon him, remained composed. He decided not to reveal himself to them right away. Instead, he spoke to them in a calm, dignified manner, questioning them about their family and asking whether they had a brother. The brothers, unaware that this was their long-lost brother Yusuf, peace be upon him, spoke of their father, Yaqub, peace be upon him, and their family back home. Yusuf, peace be upon him, was moved by their words. After a series of events, he finally revealed his identity to them. He said, "I am Yusuf, and this is my brother. Allah has indeed been merciful to us." The brothers were shocked and overwhelmed with guilt for what they had done to Yusuf, peace be upon him, so many years ago. They immediately apologized, seeking his forgiveness, and Yusuf, peace be upon him, forgave them with an open heart, showing them the mercy that only a prophet of Allah could display. But the story did not end there. Yusuf, peace be upon him, knew that the one who had suffered the most from their actions was their father, Yaqub, peace be upon him. He sent them back to their father with the good news that Yusuf, peace be upon him, was alive and that he had become a ruler in Egypt. He instructed them to bring Yaqub, peace be upon him, and the rest of the family to Egypt so they could reunite. When Yaqub, peace be upon him, received the news, his heart was overwhelmed with joy. But at first he couldn't believe it. He had cried so many tears over Yusuf, peace be upon him, and the thought of seeing him again seemed too miraculous to be true. But when the brothers arrived with the news, Yaqub, peace be upon him, felt a surge of joy in his heart. He immediately recognized the scent of Yusuf's coat, which had been sent as a token. His heart, which had been broken for so many years, was healed in that moment. The reunion between Yaqub, peace be upon him, and Yusuf, peace be upon him, is one of the most beautiful and emotional moments in the Quran. After years of pain and separation, father and son were finally united, and the joy that filled their hearts was indescribable. Yaqub, peace be upon him, thanked Allah for His mercy and for bringing his son back to him. He said, "My eyes have been brightened by your return, and I am content with the mercy of Allah." This reunion was not just a personal moment of joy, it was a testament to the greatness of Allah's mercy. It showed that no matter how difficult our trials may seem, Allah's plan is always greater, and He is capable of bringing ease after hardship. Yaqub, peace be upon him, had endured a trial of unimaginable pain, but through his patience and trust in Allah, he was rewarded with the return of his son. The story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, teaches us several powerful lessons. First, it shows the importance of patience in the face of hardship. Yaqub, peace be upon him, never gave up hope, even in the darkest moments. He remained steadfast in his faith and trust in Allah. Second, it teaches us the power of forgiveness. Yusuf, peace be upon him, forgave his brothers in Islam. Lastly, it reminds us that Allah's timing is perfect. What seems impossible or difficult for us may be part of Allah's grand plan, and when the time is right, He will bring relief. Prophet Yaqub's story, peace be upon him, is not just a tale of a father and his son. It is a story of faith, patience, and the boundless mercy of Allah. It is a story that continues to inspire us to trust Allah through our own trials, knowing that His plan is always for the best. The story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, doesn't just end with his reunion with Yusuf, peace be upon him. After the long years of hardship and separation, Yaqub, peace be upon him, was finally reunited with his beloved son. But this reunion was not just a moment of personal joy. It was a reminder of the power of Allah's plan and His mercy, which was beyond anyone's imagination. Once Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his sons arrived in Egypt, the entire family was welcomed with great honor. Yusuf, peace be upon him, now in a powerful position, embraced his father and brothers, showing them a love and compassion that only someone who had suffered greatly could understand. He invited them to stay in Egypt, where they would be well provided for during the remaining years of the famine. The family, once torn apart by jealousy and betrayal, was now together again under the mercy of Allah. Despite the years of pain and suffering, Yaqub, peace be upon him, never let go of his faith. He saw this reunion as a sign of Allah's immense mercy. His patience had been rewarded, and the trials he had faced, though excruciating, had ultimately led to a deeper bond with his family and a stronger reliance on Allah. In the end, it was Allah's will that brought them back together, and Yaqub, peace be upon him, never lost sight of that. Prophet Yaqub's story, peace be upon him, is a powerful reminder that no matter how dark the days may seem, there is always hope. Through his patience, trust in Allah, and unwavering faith, Yaqub, peace be upon him, teaches us that even in the midst of our most difficult trials, we should never lose hope. Allah's mercy and wisdom will always prevail, and no matter how long the wait may feel, relief will come in ways we cannot predict. Through the story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his sons, we learn that family bonds are precious, and with patience and forgiveness, they can heal even the deepest wounds. And just as Yaqub, peace be upon him, held on to his trust in Allah, we too should hold on to our faith, knowing that Allah is always with us, guiding us through every challenge and hardship. After Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, was reunited with his beloved son Yusuf, peace be upon him, their family was restored and peace seemed to settle in their lives. However, the story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, offers us profound lessons not only about patience and faith, but also about the importance of family, trust, and the divine plan of Allah. One of the most remarkable aspects of this story is the unwavering trust and faith Yaqub, peace be upon him, had in Allah, despite the severe trials he endured, the loss of his son, the years of separation, and the devastating grief. He never lost hope. This is a crucial lesson for us today. Life is full of challenges, and we will all face hardships in different forms. However, the example of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, reminds us that faith in Allah's plan can help us endure even the most painful of circumstances. Yaqub's story is a powerful testimony that no matter how dark the times may seem, Allah's mercy and plan are always greater. Another key lesson is the importance of family and the power of forgiveness. Yusuf, peace be upon him, forgave his brothers even though they had betrayed him in the most cruel way. His forgiveness was not only a sign of his piety, but also a lesson in mercy and compassion. As a prophet, Yusuf, peace be upon him, knew that forgiveness is not just an act of kindness. It is a reflection of a heart that trusts in Allah and understands that only He has the ultimate power to judge and heal. By forgiving his brothers, Yusuf, peace be upon him, set a powerful example for all of us, showing that even when others wrong us, we must turn to Allah for guidance, and in doing so, we can achieve inner peace and a sense of closure. For Yaqub, peace be upon him, the journey of faith did not end with the reunion with his sons. The years of hardship had shaped him into a stronger and wiser man, and as a father, he knew that his role was not just to love his children, but to guide them with wisdom and justice. His constant prayers and devotion to Allah were a foundation upon which his family could build their own faith. This theme of divine guidance is central to the entire story. Yaqub's family had gone through unimaginable pain, yet each trial, no matter how difficult, was part of a larger divine plan. Yusuf's rise to power in Egypt was not by accident. It was the result of Allah's infinite wisdom. His trials, though painful at the time, were a means through which Allah guided him to a position where he could help others, including his family, in their time of need. This teaches us that even when things seem uncertain or when life doesn't go as planned, we must trust that Allah's wisdom is greater than ours. Additionally, the story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his family emphasizes the significance of turning to Allah in times of distress. Yaqub, peace be upon him, never sought comfort from anyone except Allah. His strength lay in his dependence on Allah's mercy and guidance. When he was separated from his sons and was enduring the greatest pain, he turned to Allah, saying, "Indeed, I only complain of my grief and sorrow, yet to Allah." This act of turning to Allah, especially in moments of despair, is something that we can all learn from. It teaches us that in our darkest moments, we should never forget to seek Allah's help and trust that He is always there for us, no matter the severity of our trials. Finally, we see that through faith, patience, and forgiveness, the hardships Yaqub, peace be upon him, endured ultimately led to a beautiful reunion and a stronger family bond. This reunion was not only a moment of personal joy, but also a reminder that Allah's timing is always perfect. The long years of pain, the tears, and the suffering all led to a beautiful outcome that no one could have imagined. The trials were a means of purification, and the ultimate result was peace, harmony, and divine blessings. In the end, the story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, is one that speaks to the strength of human resilience and the importance of trusting Allah's plan. Through his journey, we learn that patience and faith in Allah's mercy are the keys to overcoming life's challenges. His life encourages us to never lose hope, to always forgive, to trust in Allah, and to remember that every hardship we face is an opportunity for growth and closeness to Allah. Just as Yaqub, peace be upon him, was reunited with his sons, we too can find comfort in knowing that Allah's mercy will always find a way to reunite us with what we have lost. and in doing so, guide us to a better, more fulfilling life. The story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, continues to offer profound lessons long after the reunion with his son Yusuf, peace be upon him. While the family was finally brought back together, the trials and tests they faced were far from over. Through this, Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his family's journey reveal even deeper lessons about trust in Allah, the power of patience, and the importance of inner peace. One of the most significant aspects of Yaqub's life, peace be upon him, is his unshakable trust in Allah, despite the painful tests he faced. His patience during years of separation from Yusuf, peace be upon him, was a reflection of his absolute faith in Allah's will. It wasn't easy for him to endure the grief and uncertainty of losing his son, but Yaqub, peace be upon him, knew that there was wisdom behind every trial. This level of trust is a powerful lesson for us today. When faced with difficult situations, we should always remember that Allah is aware of what we are going through and that nothing happens except by His will. Another powerful lesson from this story is the theme of divine wisdom. Allah's plan is always greater than our own understanding. Yusuf, peace be upon him, had been sent into exile, facing numerous hardships. Yet each one of those trials was part of Allah's plan. Even though it was painful, Yusuf's separation from his father was necessary for him to rise to the position where he could eventually help his family during the famine. Yaqub, peace be upon him, may not have understood the reasons for his hardships at the time, but he trusted that Allah knew best. This teaches us that even when we do not understand the trials we are facing, we should trust that Allah has a greater plan for us. Furthermore, the story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his sons also teaches us about the importance of forgiveness. Yusuf, peace be upon him, could have easily taken revenge on his brothers after they betrayed him. However, he chose to forgive them, and through his forgiveness, the family was able to heal and be reunited. Forgiveness is not always easy, especially when we've been hurt deeply. But it is a sign of strength, not weakness. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the burden of hatred and allow peace to enter our hearts. Yusuf's ability to forgive teaches us that when we forgive others, we not only follow the example of the prophets, but also allow Allah to heal our hearts and restore harmony. Yaqub, peace be upon him, was a father who showed immense wisdom. After all that had happened, he didn't just celebrate the reunion with his sons, but he also took the opportunity to remind them of their duties toward Allah. He encouraged them to remain steadfast in their faith, to continue doing good, and to trust in Allah alone. His role as a father was not only to provide for them, but also to ensure they remained on the right path. This emphasizes the importance of parenting and guiding our children toward righteousness. The most important thing we can give to our children is not wealth or material possessions, but the teachings of faith and good character. Through all the challenges and triumphs, the final message of Yaqub's life, peace be upon him, is about the importance of relying on Allah for everything. No matter how much we plan, no matter how hard we try, it is ultimately Allah's will that prevails. Yaqub, peace be upon him, understood this deeply. Even when things seemed hopeless, he turned to Allah in prayer and trust. This unwavering reliance on Allah is the foundation of a peaceful heart and a successful life. As we reflect on the story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, we are reminded that life is a journey of tests and challenges. But through patience, trust in Allah's plan, forgiveness, and reliance on Him, we can find peace in the midst of hardship. The story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, encourages us to keep going, even when we don't understand the trials we face, because Allah's mercy is greater than any difficulty we might encounter. Just as Yaqub was eventually reunited with his son, we too should trust that Allah will bring us the peace, comfort, and solutions we need in His perfect timing. The story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, teaches us many important lessons that are relevant even today. One of the most significant aspects of his life is how he dealt with extreme hardship, loss, and the emotional weight of separation from his beloved son, Yusuf, peace be upon him. What stands out the most is the way he responded to trials, through patience, trust in Allah, and unwavering faith. Yaqub, peace be upon him, endured years of grief and sorrow after losing his son. His heart was filled with pain, but he never allowed that pain to lead him to despair. Instead, he turned to Allah, saying, "Indeed, I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah." This powerful statement is a lesson for all of us. In times of hardship, it's natural to feel grief, but Yaqub, peace be upon him, teaches us that we should always turn to Allah in our times of sadness and hardship. He didn't seek comfort from anyone other than Allah, and in doing so, he was able to maintain his faith and hope. This is a lesson that many of us need in today's world, where we often turn to social media, friends, or even material things to escape our problems. But Yaqub, peace be upon him, shows us that the only true source of comfort is Allah. When life becomes overwhelming, the best thing we can do is to seek refuge in prayer and trust that Allah's plan is always greater than our own understanding. Another powerful lesson from Yaqub's life is his ability to maintain hope despite the most difficult circumstances. Even after hearing news that his son was no longer with him, Yaqub, peace be upon him, never gave up hope. He continued to believe that Allah could reunite him with Yusuf, peace be upon him, and that no matter how impossible it seemed, Allah's mercy was vast and all-encompassing. This teaches us that we should never lose hope, no matter how dark things may seem. Even in the most hopeless situations, we should keep our trust in Allah and know that He can change our circumstances at any moment. In the end, the story of Yaqub, peace be upon him, and his reunion with Yusuf, peace be upon him, is a testament to the power of faith, patience, and hope. After years of suffering, Yaqub, peace be upon him, was finally reunited with his son, and their family was healed. This reunion wasn't just about family coming together. It was a reminder that Allah is the best of planners and His timing is always perfect. The struggles they endured were part of a greater plan that led to ultimate peace and reconciliation. This is a crucial lesson for us today. When we face trials, we may not understand the purpose behind them, but just like Yaqub, peace be upon him, we must trust that there is wisdom in every difficulty. Allah is always with us, even when we can't see the way forward. Patience and reliance on Allah's plan will always lead us to eventual success, even if it takes time. In conclusion, the story of Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, is not just about family and reunion. It is a story of unwavering faith, deep trust in Allah, and the importance of patience in times of hardship. His life teaches us that no matter how difficult our trials may be, we should never lose hope, for Allah's mercy and plan are always far greater than we can imagine. Just as Yaqub, peace be upon him, was reunited with Yusuf, peace be upon him, we too can find comfort in knowing that Allah will eventually bring us peace and relief in His perfect time.